Hello and welcome to the Melon Buffet podcast. I'm Tara.
And I'm Charlie. Hello.
And we're just all fucked up as per usual.
Yeah.
And so we're doing another double. We actually had recorded this entire episode. What are we doing? We're doing 7 and 8
Yeah,
now.
we did 7 last Sunday, like a week and a half ago or something. Yeah, but one half of the recordings, my half, got fucked up. So
it was her turn. I've had enough problems. So and damn it, I felt like it was a good episode.
I know what, I think it was as well, and I was really proud of myself because I was ready earlier than I would normally be, and then I've done something wrong with my software. I don't know. Like, you know yourself. I just spent the last half an hour fucking about with it to try and figure out what happened, and I don't know. And it's magically fixed itself. So hopefully this is recording.
Yeah, so we're going to do 7 over and we're going to do 8 all in one. You guys know by now that we are nothing close to professionals. We're just learning how to do this shit as we go. I mean, we should know a little better by now, but
what is this? Series
whatever.
3 or something?
I don't know. Yeah, we're like 3 or 4 in.
I'm just going to warn you as well. I know I've already told you that I hardly slept last night because I was up trying to buy a PlayStation for my nephew, but never mind. I didn't get one, so I was really angry when I woke up. I was really angry before I went to sleep as well. But also, I've just been watching Series 7 of Taskmaster not long ago, so I'm probably not going to remember anything from this series. Yeah, it's on TV all the time, and you know, it was the one with the with Greg's mum in the bath, and the lime and the hula hooping and everything. It was an iconic episode. Let's just talk about that instead. Fuck episode 7.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm joking.
They're always yelling at us to go back and do the older seasons, but we're just too fucking lazy.
It's been 95 episodes now. Come on, we can't even keep up with the fucking live stuff. Never mind going back.
It's fucking pathetic.
Ridiculous.
I mean, if someone wants to pay us and we can somehow turn this into a job, that could be a whole different thing.
Just
but
buy food. You don't have to give me cash. Yeah.
We need to get sponsors.
Who's going to sponsor this fucking mess, man?
I don't know, but if you're out there, please contact us at melonbuffet@gmail.com.
God loves a trial, man. Okay. I do remember that you were waiting for me to say the name of this episode because you thought I wouldn't be able to pronounce it. So yeah, you've got no chutzpah. Chutzpah? Did I say it right?
We'll take it. Chutzpah.
Chutzpah.
You need that like you're clearing the back of your throat. No more chutzpah.
Yeah, whatever, man. But I did say to you, like, before I heard Mike say it, I would have pronounced it chutzpah because I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you've never heard the word before, it's Yiddish. It's, I grew up in an area with a very large Jewish population, being right outside New York, northern New Jersey. So it's common parlance around these parts.
Yeah. What does it mean again? I've already forgotten. You got no.
Yeah, it's like you've got nerve, you've got, you got cheek, you've got a little bit of audacity.
You've got no sass. You've got no balls.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Yeah, it can have several meanings, but all kind of in that sort of realm.
It's an insult. We figured that much out. It's an insult. Well, it is in the context that Mike used it. It's an insult to the.
Definitely. Well, I mean, he was undermining, so
undermining the.
There you go.
Vol.
See, which we'll get to.
Remember. This is going to be so bad. Okay, so the prize task for episode 7. You've got no chutzpah. Is that better?
That better.
Okay.
To clean your microphone.
To clean my laptop screen. The best thing to hang from a wall that you wouldn't normally hang from a wall. Okay.
Yes. I know we discussed this, but I don't remember what I said, so let's just get into the entries from the
Let's just pretend that we've not already recorded this once. I can't remember what I said to you anyway, so it would be as well not have.
No. Yeah. So Sarah came in with, which I totally related to, that she wouldn't hang a picture of herself because she doesn't like pictures of herself I hate having my picture taken. Yeah, I mean, you know, you and I spent like a week together when I was over there, and I think there's maybe 2 pictures of us together, maybe.
There's one in the comedy club, which was dark. There's one we went to Rick Mills Memorial Bench. There's a few there. I've got my favourite picture of you eating that weird ice cream in Camden Food Market.
Yeah.
Is that what's
fucking good? I think about that a lot.
Yeah, but that's about it, really. So, yeah. Maybe there's a few pictures, but maybe only 3 different occasions over that whole weekend.
Yeah,
and none from Edinburgh. When we went to the festival, and I don't think I took any pictures, but I always forget to do that. Yeah.
No, yeah, like I didn't even get that many pictures of myself on my own vacation.
I know we took a picture of that giant drink you had in the Three Sisters. It was like a bucket of something. I've got a picture of that.
Oh yeah. It was like a tropical drink in a beach in a sand pail.
Giant,
it was great.
Yeah, a giant cocktail or whatever it was.
Well, I got a picture with Ed and Lloyd.
Oh, yeah, you did, and I was too frightened.
I did do that. Yeah. I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not going to have the chance." So
yeah, no. Yeah, it's a good picture too. You should put that on the Twitter. Yeah. You should share it. People like to see it.
It's not a good picture of me, though. It's a good picture of them, but it's a horrible picture of me. So
everyone thinks all the pictures of themselves are horrible. I don't like any pictures of myself at all.
Which is exactly why, Sarah didn't want to hang a picture of herself on the wall. But then...
we can't all have the confidence of the Taskmaster, who's clearly got his mansion adorned with portraits of himself. That's where all the portraits are, for everyone that's always asking what happens to them. They're in Greg's house. Clearly.
I mean, if you looked like that, you know, why not?
Look at you sucking up to him. We know he's handsome.
Hey.
Okay, let's move on. Let's not go down that road.
So she had this picture, a couple pictures of herself that were done by a friend of hers.
Yeah, they were shit. They were really
awful.
Shit.
Oh my God.
They didn't look anything like him.
I mean, I wouldn't be friends with that person.
Yeah, no, it was insulting.
After that.
They didn't even capture the spirit of her hair. Nothing. It was fantastic hair.
So she said she was okay hanging those pictures of herself, but that was why it was something she wouldn't normally hang on a wall. So that was her entry. And then Charlotte.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I give her credit for actually doing a little bit of DIY. You know,
she created
something.
Crafted it. Book to read on the shitter.
Yeah, a holder, a toilet wall holder. What was it? Tap, thwack, and slot.
Yeah.
I only remember that because it's in my notes.
Yeah, but you said it about 10 times in a row last time.
Yeah, I did. Don't get me fired up. But yeah, so it also included a stick with a little bit of blue tack on the end, so you could turn the pages and slot them in behind the tape strip she had made, which I guess she had done back to back, so it wouldn't stick to the pages. Yeah. But tap, thwack, and slot.
Yeah, nice idea. Yeah. I think, the male of the species would probably use that a lot more than what we would. I don't tend to hang around in the toilet longer than...
No, they camp out.
They like to, they eat in there and everything. Like, I've heard stories of people, putting it in one end while it's coming out the other. It's disgusting.
Oh my God.
No,
thank you.
Disgusting. Anyway.
No, women, we've got shit to do. We get in, we get our business done, and we get out.
Yeah. And we leave it in
especially at home. I don't understand. I've never been one of those women that go to the bathroom in packs when they're out. I don't understand that whole phenomenon, but this is the home toilet we're talking about.
No, I mean that's generally it's just so you can talk away from the music. That's the way that's what I used to use it for when I used to go to clubs and things like that. But I don't like. No, you don't need that. You don't need an audience to watch it pee, do you?
No. I mean, if you're into that, but that's not our scene.
Dirty. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, Charlotte's book. Okay. Who's next?
This might be better than the first one. I don't know. Lee had his wall bed.
Yeah, I was a bit worried about Lee's wall bed because I thought that we were talking about because I think when Greg was talking about it, he was saying that he was worried that he'd be folded over because because of the length of him, that strap would probably be around his waist, whereas for the rest of us, it would probably be around our neck or something.
Yeah, exactly. It looked like you might get hung on the damn thing for the normal person.
A normal-sized person. Come on, don't call him abnormal. He's
Well,
just a big
yes.
boy. That's all.
No, normal size, average sized. I mean, you're below average, so you'd fall out of the bed anyway. That thing wouldn't have even held you up.
Totally around I wouldn't even reach the strap. It'd be
a blindfold
somewhere. I'd be hanging on to it with my arms stretched out. Yeah.
Oh, let's not forget the imaginary handcuffs that
imaginary rubber handcuffs. Did he say?
Yeah. Well, of course, because you don't want anything too painful. Yeah, well, if you're going to be dangling off the wall.
Like, if you were a bit warm or whatever, and you were moving and stuff, I think that would give you a friction burn if you were moving around.
There you go. And then we've got Mike with his welcome mat, because obviously you wouldn't normally hang it on a wall, but as an entry, it's absolute shit.
Yeah. Do you reckon? I think if I went in Mike's house, or anyone's house for that matter, and their welcome mat was on the wall near the door, I would wipe my feet on it still. Would you?
Just kick up.
As long as it wasn't above, like, well, we've already established I'm a short ass, so it would have to still be pretty far down the wall for me to be able to wipe my feet on it. Like, if it was at head height,
I don't know. I would just question them. I'm like, what? Can you not afford like a nice piece of art for your walls? Like, what are you doing?
Well, he's fulfilled the brief, hasn't he? It wouldn't normally be on the wall, because it would normally be on the floor, because it's a doormat.
Because it's a mat, yes.
I was going to say a foot mat there.
We're making up words now. Oh, and then Jamali with the mini fridge. Yeah.
I'd quite like I said out loud the other night, I would like a mini fridge next to my computer chair upstairs, so that I didn't have to go downstairs to get Coke for my rum. That was all it was for. Yeah. So I agree with him.
I mean,
I
have a mini fridge freezer right in the room right next to the kitchen, but that's how lazy I am. But that's just for the booze.
Yeah, everyone's got, well, not everyone, but I've got, when I moved into this house, there was a fridge freezer already here. And so I had a kind of a half-size fridge that goes under the bench top. And there's no space for it in the kitchen, so it's in this room here, and that's generally what I put in it. Beer, or if I buy too much milk, I put it in there until there's space for it in the fridge downstairs. This is exciting, isn't it? So it's technically a beer fridge, and it's got a massive caution surveying sign on it. Can you see it? Have I got the blurry?
No, I can't. All I see is your background.
I've got a bright yellow surveying sign stuck to my fridge that's for a van for work. It's quite nice. I might keep it. It looks cool.
There you go. So points. Mike got 1 for his welcome mat. Jamali got 2 for his mini fridge, because the taskmaster was just not impressed. He's like, I don't need that. I mean, Yeah,
because he's got great big long arms and he lives in a flat, so he could probably reach his fridge from wherever he put his chairs, I would imagine.
Exactly.
Like Mr. Tickle.
Nobody got 3 points for this. Nobody got 3, but Sarah and Charlotte both got 4. And in the end, he liked Lee's wall bed, 5 points.
Weird. Okay. Not disagreeing with him, but yeah. Not for me. Yeah. So, task 1. Okay, it was in the garden of the Taskmaster house. I'm having to remind myself whilst reading these notes. Complete these tasks. Most tasks wins. You may not step beyond this line. You had 10 minutes from when the fuse was lit. Alex lit the fuse, setting the paper that the task is printed on fire. So, the tasks were: attack the biscuit, chuck the dog, embrace the fish, grab the hat, inspect the jacket, kick the lemon, mash the nectarine, open the plum, quaff the ribena, sniff the turnip, undermine the vole, whack the xylophone, and yank the zebra.
All right.
Madness.
Now now of course we don't have ribena here, but I did know what it was, and I had to use that. No, and so I had to use my context clues, being that I know what ribena is, to know what the hell quaff was, because that's not something we say here either.
We don't really say it here anyway, not where I live. We say drink it.
But yes, I used my thinking skills and I figured it out.
So if you don't have Ribena, what do you have? Do you have Vimto?
No.
You're missing out. Ribena's good.
Yeah, no, I've had it.
When I was a kid,
not
used
bad,
to rot your teeth though, because it's quite nice.
Yeah. I mean, you can get it like in some of the supermarkets that have like a big international aisle that have a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, it's different. It's not as nice. Especially if you get an attack of guilt while you're buying it and you buy the sugar-free stuff. Or the reduced sugar, whatever it is. You regret it forevermore.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So,
well, I mean, this task was fucking evil because, of course, he lights the paper from the bottom. You're reading from the top. So by the time you've even like registered what's happening, half the list is already fucking gone.
Yeah. So the plan of attack, if you'd had a chance to think about it, would be trying to read it from the bottom up and trying to retain as much of the information as you can before you run off and start doing stuff like Charlotte did. So she didn't get very far. She got as far as the fish. And then she just kind of gave up.
But, I mean, Sarah worked the system out. She figured out that it was all alphabetical. Yeah. It was, verb, and then the object, and so it was A, B, then the next thing was C, D, and so on.
I figured out it was the alphabet whilst watching it and shouting at the TV like I do, which I was quite pleased with myself. But there's no way on earth I would have remembered that if I was actually doing that. I would have realised that even if I was doing the task. Like, pressure would have made, no chance.
Yeah, exactly, because that still requires you to remember which verb was used that started with the correct letter, and then like she got off by one and she was trying to bathe the dog, so she had she was just her letters were off even though she had kind of figured it out.
She licked the dog as well, didn't she? She licked it. Then
well, she was going to lick everything just to cover her bases. So
I don't know if this was pre-pandemic or middle pandemic or whatever, but it just made me uncomfortable. Don't lick everything, Sarah, man.
And I know now they've got to completely sanitize the dog and put him in quarantine. That's not fair.
They must have had several dogs though, because I think that got dunked a couple of times, didn't it? Or they cleaned it in between. I think they probably learned from from the little man on the bike thing that you should always have spares.
I think everything they use, they know they have to have enough for each person because anything could get destroyed at any time.
Like the blender.
Yeah.
With the giraffes. No, camels. Yeah.
Again, I would just love to see a copy of like the operating budget for one series of this fucking show.
I bet it's still not that much though.
No. No, I mean, not counting the talent, not counting what they pay.
Talent, just the perishables.
The talent. I just want to know.
Materials. Yeah. Anyway, so.
We learned that Jamali was suspicious of tap water.
Yeah. But his Ribena looked minging though, because it settled. So it must have been sat there for ages.
Yeah. It needed a good stir.
I wouldn't have drank that.
And, Lee just fucking attacked everything. I mean, he just went...
Yeah, he just remembered the word attack, didn't he? And just lost his mind.
Yeah. And then, of course, one of the best moments of the episode was Mike undermining the vole. Yeah. I mean, it was fucking glorious. And that's where we got the title of this episode.
So you can see it's been like 2 weeks since I watched it, because I completely forgot about that, even though we just talked about it at the start.
I'm remembering these things as I've read my notes. Yeah. So as my notes get shittier as the episode goes on, it's going to be interesting.
No, see, my notes are fairly kind of to the point, and because we usually record this pretty quickly after, relatively. But a lot of time is
a lot of times you and we'll even watch it once again, like on the day we're going to record, just as a refresher. But
I watched episode 8 last night, and I watched series 7 episode whatever just 2 hours ago. So it wasn't the best preparation on my behalf. I apologize.
So points. Sarah got 1 because she just, even though she figured out the system, she did nothing.
She forgot.
Charlotte got 2 points because she got 3 things. Lee got 3 points. I didn't even write down how many
4
items
tasks.
he actually got.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, there you go. Jamali got 4 points for 6 tasks. And Mike got 5 points because he got 7 tasks in the end.
Yep.
So then we move indoors, and they had to open the little Matryoshka babushka doll there to eventually it led to a little note that told him to look under the table, except for Mike, who just looked around and wound up looking under the table, and that's where they found the task. And it was, make the best babushka meal. Each course must be presented inside the previous course. Best babushka meal wins. When you have 5 minutes to order your ingredients and 20 minutes to prepare your babushka meal. So.
Yeah. Another disgusting food task.
I mean, Alex obviously knows that he is going to be the one subjected to this when he does it. And that just shows his, dedication to his show.
Yeah.
Because
maybe he just likes to try out things that you would normally eat together.
I don't know.
I don't understand why you would do that to yourself. Is it the bullying?
Yeah,
Is it the bullying? Is he just trying to please him? I don't know. It's strange. It's really weird.
So Mike did his in 4 minutes.
Yeah, he didn't do any cooking.
Immediately should worry anybody who's going to have to eat it.
He scotched a Kinder Egg.
Yeah, so he had the tortilla wrap, and then he had some olives, which Alex hated.
Yeah.
And then the scotch.
Yeah.
Scotch, no egg. But he did have enough sense to foil wrap the chocolate egg to kind of keep it separate from the rest, which I thought was
It was very nice of him, yeah. To scotch the foiled egg. Scotch the foiled egg.
If you didn't eat the whole thing, you could re-babushka it, wrap it back up.
Just a little taste of each course, and then wrapped it back up, put it in his pocket.
But you don't want to fill up on that kind of thing,
Yeah, you don't want to spoil yourself.
A taste is enough.
Oh, it was minging, wasn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, Sarah's didn't look too bad visually.
Yeah.
It was kind of like it looked like a big salad.
It was vibrant.
She had that big bed of lettuce, and then there was an apple, and then an avocado, and that was filled with salmon and couscous. That's where things got a little iffy. Then an orange peel with banana, and then fusilli and a chili.
Then it got iffy.
Well,
the Fanta jus.
Well, I mean, and that was like the final insanity, but the salmon and couscous together, I mean, Alex was not enjoying that.
Is it not nice? I don't know.
And then, so then she poured Fanta all over the fucking top of it.
Well, couscous is a funny thing, isn't it? Because it's a kind of a weird texture. And then I guess, was it smoked salmon? The opaque stuff?
I mean, it must have been, or it might have even been like canned,
Yeah, I'm not
for
really
like
a
salmon
fan
salad
of,
or something.
Fish that you can almost see through, so I wouldn't have ate that anyway. I know it's ridiculous because I'm Scottish and I'm supposed to eat it for breakfast.
Know, my God.
I like hot smoked salmon. I just don't like the stuff that looks like it's raw, because it is really, isn't it? I don't like that.
Well, it's not really.
I don't know what's happened to it, but I don't like it. It's slimy. I don't like slimy things.
Oh, well, then we had Lee come in with his watermelon.
Yeah.
And I mean, he had kind of tied it together, and then he put it down like sideways. So as soon as you took it off, everything just started kind of sliding out. And in between each layer, he had a jelly palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Strawberry jelly.
Yeah, palate cleansers are meant to be things like citrus, aren't they? Or mint or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
strawberry. Like a citrus sorbet or a mint sorbet. Not strawberry jelly. There was a Kinder Egg, and then more jelly, and then a pea, just the one, which Alex did enjoy.
Yeah, I think he enjoyed that and nothing else. And
a Tic Tac.
Yeah.
And more jelly. And a single 100,000.
Weird. Yeah. No, it was a nice effort. I mean, it was certainly all enclosed within the main outer shell, but I don't think it would have been very nice to eat.
No, not at all. And the only decent thing in there was a pea. I hate peas.
Do you? What's wrong with peas? What's wrong with you?
I don't like them.
Why?
Never liked them.
Because they're difficult to eat because they try to escape.
No, I don't like the taste of them.
Have you never had mushy peas then, or peas pudding? I bet you'd like peas pudding. I mean, it doesn't taste like peas. I don't know.
Well, if it doesn't taste like peas, maybe, but like the very idea of mushy peas like just makes me nauseous because I don't like peas, and now you're gonna smush them all up and make them all.
So you don't like all peas, or just do you not like processed, or do you not like what kind of peas do you have in America?
No, I've had them fresh. I've had them canned. I've had frozen. I don't.
Yeah, but what are the peas like in America? Because all your stuff's different. It's probably something else. Did it look like that?
Well, don't ask me what they're like because I think they're awful. So
you don't like petit pois? I like peas.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I do like peas. They're fuckers, like
once in a while, like I'll tolerate them if they're in like a soup or a stew or something like that. But
you pea racist.
Yeah,
you pea denier.
I hate peas. I don't make them.
That's weird. I don't think I've ever met anyone that doesn't like peas.
Oh, well.
Well, I have now, obviously.
I can introduce you to a few people. I don't know.
Yeah. I suppose it's not as bad as not liking cheese. That's weird.
Yeah.
Cheesy peas.
And you married him, so.
Yeah, well. Don't remind me.
Not that my husband's any bargain in the culinary area, believe me.
What do you mean?
He's too picky. He's
He's picky.
Oh, he doesn't eat onions, doesn't eat coconut, doesn't eat... I mean, onions. How the fuck am I supposed to cook without onions?
Onions is in everything. What do you do then? Do you liquidize
Exactly.
them? Do you have to cook them until they're away, like translucent?
It depends on the dish. Sometimes I cook them so they practically disappear, or sometimes I just leave them big so he can just pick them out.
Yeah. John doesn't make onions
because I'm just like, I'm not cooking with onions because, yeah, like you said, onions are in fucking everything. They're like the base of food.
John doesn't like crunchy veg. Any veg is crunchy, doesn't like it. It's got to be like boiled to within an inch of disintegration.
Oh, God forbid.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. So anyway,
it's a sin.
What are we talking about? Peas.
Yeah. So now we're on to Jamali's bread boat. With salmon and eggs, and then cold soup.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Yeah, well, I mean, Alex really did enjoy it. He said this was the best one, and they actually finished it once you kind of rinsed the soup off.
Yeah.
Had roast chicken.
Yeah. It was nasty, though, when the soup lava went into the chicken cavity.
Yeah.
That was a bit gross. Like a river of spew.
And cold. Like it might not have been bad had he warmed the soup up.
Yeah, well, he said it was gazpacho, didn't he? But I think gazpacho is generally tomato and stuff in it. Is it?
Yeah, it's almost like liquefied salsa. Like, it's like tomato with peppers and onions and.
Yeah, like you couldn't take a tin of lentil soup and just call it gazpacho because you haven't heated it up.
No,
it's still fucking lentil soup. It's just cold. Yeah. Yeah, but then he said after that he trained to be a chef, didn't he? So maybe that's why they
he did say that.
At least he did a little bit of cooking. But they only had 20 minutes, didn't they? So.
Well, but he did the most cooking of anyone, like actual cooking, so.
I think he's the only one that did cooking. Because what Charlotte
especially
did, as cooking.
Yeah, because we move on to Charlotte, and I'm still not sure what she was putting in the oven that wasn't on. Maybe it was to warm the bread, but we never quite figured that out.
The pepper. I think she was going to roast the pepper, but you need a lot of time to do that. She should have just charred it. So is it a gas
on the
cooker?
hob?
Is it a gas hob, or is it electric?
I'm not sure.
Could have made a fire. I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, so she had her bread. She made like a very thin. I can't even call it an omelet because it was just egg.
It's an egg pancake.
Yeah, and then a bell pepper that she topped, and then in there she put red onion and mushroom and a chocolate ball.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And all of those things, the egg was the only thing that was actually cooked. Everything else was just a bell pepper and a big chunk of red onion and some mushroom and a chocolate ball. And then Alex sucked it right out.
Yeah, well, before he did that, though, he bit a massive chunk of red onion. Like, red onion's nice, but I don't know, like, the size of the bite he took. And then he tried to wash it out with lemonade.
Yeah.
And then he abused that chocolate ball thing.
Oh, can't unsee that.
Yeah, dirty boy.
I think he just wanted to traumatize her for making him eat
disgusting stuff.
Like all that crappy stuff, yeah. So points.
Points. Mike got 1 point. Charlotte got 2. Am I reading the right thing?
Lucky.
Yeah. Lee and Sarah both got 4 points, and Jamali got 5 for making an effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, the crew and everything, they pretty much ate all of his.
Yes, no food was wasted. Stop tweeting.
Yeah, they made a point to say that they don't waste the food because people are, pounding on them about it.
They're making an effort, and that's all we can ask for from them.
Absolutely.
Task 3, team task. Get out of the front gate, setting off the alarm the fewest times. Every time the alarm goes off, you must start again. You must only step on your stepping stones. Your time starts now. So yeah, they had stepping stones made out of card or paper or whatever. I can't remember the colours now. Some of them were red. Some of them were white.
There's some red, some green, and then the majority of them were white.
Yeah, okay.
And they had to figure out, basically they had to get from their platforms to the gate, and they had to figure out what was setting off the alarm.
Yeah, it was an Alex.
Yeah.
With his crooked little rule book in his head.
They start off with the obvious things. Oh, is it the red one? Is it the green one? Oh, no, let's not talk, or let's keep talking, or, they all went through all these kind of things. I mean, there's not a lot we can really say about this because it's kind of one of those tasks that just happens. But what it turned out to be was anytime there was 7 seconds of silence, or if someone said a word with the letter T. Those were the things that would set off the alarm.
Crafty.
So Lee and Mike got out 12 minutes and 24 seconds, setting off the alarm 21 times. And what happened was Lee said, well, let's just make the alarm noise after going through a whole bunch of other things. And obviously because the alarm noise didn't have any T sounds in it and they were not silent for any great length of time, that got them out.
Fluke. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But it was a fluke for both teams because Charlotte, Jamali and Sarah, they went through a similar process. And then I think Jamali just ended up running out shouting red, 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 red. Followed one at a time by the other two. So because they tried. Yeah, they figured it.
They tried saying like each color as they stepped on it. They tried saying it, and then finally it was just red, red, red.
Because every time they said white, it set the alarm off. That's what
they did it in 15 minutes, 50 seconds. But of course, they might have been a little faster had they all done it together at the end. But they set off the alarm 34 times, so they still
it wasn't a time
would have
thing,
lost.
Was it? It was how many?
No, I mean they timed them, but it was exactly. It came down to the alarm. So either way, Lee and Mike were going to win.
Yeah.
But it was just funny because once they were back in the studio, neither team had no idea what they'd done. They're like, we just knew we got out, but we didn't know why.
Yeah. Well, that's I think, I'm trying to think of the other tasks that were like that. There was one in Series 1 where they were in the squash court. And it was any time anyone touched their head, they would lose points or they would get a point or whatever. And that was the same. They all did it and they had no idea. So devious.
Yeah, and I mean that's a type of task you could do at home, but people will fucking hate you.
Yeah.
Because
I would lose my shit. I wouldn't be able to do it. I would go crazy. Yeah.
I mean, Lee was very close to losing his shit a minute into the task. He was just not happy.
Yeah. Because he didn't know what to do. That's why. So yeah. What was the points? I can't even remember. 5 points to Mike and
Lee and Mike got 5 each and nothing for the other team.
Okay. Now we're on to the live task. This seems like it's been a long episode already.
No, it's actually not. It's not too bad, especially once I edit it.
Okay.
We're only at 35 minutes, so.
Live task. Make your rubber gloves and wellies as heavy as possible whilst wearing your rubber gloves and wellies. You've got 90 seconds. You must only put things in your rubber gloves for the first minute. So they had rubber gloves on and wellies. They had to stand on their marks. They each had a bucket full of stuff. Cutlery, marbles.
Cutlery and marbles. I don't know what else.
Yeah,
those are the only things
else.
I remember seeing. And, they all got into stuffing cutlery in their gloves, but Jamali just said, fuck it. He's like, I just won't even do the first minute. And he taped the buckets, once the whistle blew, he taped the bucket to his boots, but he took the fucking gloves off.
Yeah. He forgot that he had to keep those on.
Yeah. Everybody else kind of went, but then once they saw him do that, Lee and Mike also taped the bucket after they had done all the other stuffing, taped the buckets to their boots because they were like, good idea. A little bit of extra weight.
Yeah. And Mike somehow managed to almost fall over and free one foot. So he couldn't have taped his very tightly.
No, and he had it taped to the one foot that was, for whatever reason, up in the fucking air when they he spilled all the shit all over the stage.
He must have been going to lose his balance, and he just instinctively lifted that foot and forgot that there was a bucket full of shit attached to it.
I mean, it's happened to all of us.
Sure. So, in terms of weight, Charlotte ended up with 0.95 kilos and got 1 point. Jamali had 5.36 kilos, but was penalised for taking off his gloves. But he still got a point for inventing the welly boot thing. Welly boot thing? Welly bucket boot thing? Whatever. Mike only ended up with 1.09 kilos because he chucked all his stuff all over the stage, so he got 2 points. Sarah, 1.12 kilos, so she got 3, and Lee had 6.42 kilograms of stuff in his wellies and his gloves. So he got 5 points.
5 points, yes.
5 fat points.
So that brings us to the episode scores of Charlotte with 9 points. Jamali and Sarah both had 12. Mike had 14, and Lee won the episode with 22 points. Yeah.
We did have the series scores in the original recording, but I didn't write them down in my notes. So
whatever. We'll recap at the
Sarah
end of this.
Was still
it's
winning.
Fine.
She was in the lead.
Yeah. Let's face it. So we did
Mike
some.
Was in third. Jamali was in fourth. Yeah, I remember. Sorry, on you go. I'm gonna stop talking.
That's all right. So we did Melon Buffet Master, which, so I'll recap that here because I've got everything written down. The first thing we had to discuss was the week previous, Sarah had given us a story about it being accused of stealing a human pelvis, and we both wanted to know more. Sarah did give us some clarification on that by email, but asked that we not reveal the entire story because there are some real people involved, and she doesn't, not that we think anyone's listening that might know her, but just in case, she's asked us to keep the story private. But suffice it to say, we all want to know where the fucking pelvis is.
Yeah, no one knows where it is.
And Charlie and I both gave her 4 points each, so she gets another 8 points. And then Fiona came in with the most annoying thing, and she came in with a bra, but not just a bra, but a bra alone is fucking annoying as a woman. I mean, I know we disagreed on this because I can't stand wearing a fucking bra.
Yeah.
And you said that you don't like not wearing one.
No, because it's dangerous. That's why. We end up getting myself a black eye or, a broken foot or something. But can I just interject here and add that Fiona jinxed me. Because a couple of days after we recorded that, I had that same exact
You popped a wire.
Yeah,
right?
in this bit.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if it's worse when it's in the middle or when I think when it digs into your side.
And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, oh, okay, Fiona, thank you.
Yeah, so that's what it was she posted a bra where the underwire had poked through, and it's fucking awful because it never happens like you pull it out of the laundry and you're like, oh no, this bra is ruined. It's always when you're out somewhere and all of a sudden you're like,
when you're
what the hell's that? And it stabs you.
It doesn't present itself to you when you're thinking about putting it on. It waits and bides its time, and then it gradually stabs you. throughout the course of your day.
But I mean, honestly, I would have given her some good points even if she had just given us a bra. I mean, after a year in lockdown, I'm having trouble readjusting to wearing one, and it's not pretty, but I just don't fucking care. But we both gave her 5 points for that because she spoke to us on a very deep level.
I've got enough bits that wobble around. I try and keep these bits kind of still.
Keep it all strapped down.
Strap that shit in.
She also gave us the best hand-operated item, which was like a unicorn fidget that had like little bubbles that you pop back and forth to occupy yourself, which I do like a good fidget. We know we're both kind of fidgety people. Very. Pens and things like that. Charlie's got a fidget spinner somewhere. I always wanted one of those little fidget cubes with all the little switches and stuff on it.
That would be good. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try. I'm always. Tara hates how much I fidget because she does the editing for this, so she tries to cut out all my little noises. Like, but I have to put everything out of reach. That's what I try and do.
But the only thing we didn't score this higher because then we played the video, the sound that this thing made, I found it very unpleasant.
Yeah, I didn't.
And I think you did too. Yeah. So that kind of brought it down a notch. So I gave it 3 points. Charlie gave it 2 points. So that got 5 points from us. Then Duncan for a best hand operated item. It was a joystick controlled marble game where you basically put the marble in and then you have to kind of move the platform to get the marble to go through to the end. We both gave him 3 points.
Yeah, it was like a little version of Screwball Scramble. I don't know if we talked about that last time.
I think we did.
Yeah, I had that game. It's awesome.
And then the most crazy thing, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it's on Twitter if you want to see it, because it was a whole long involved thing. It was a Quasary book. It was to do with Nathan on YouTube and him doing tasks. And it's all on Twitter. I'll put a link to it, to the Twitter string that Duncan posted. I will put that in the comments.
It's very intricately and woven over a period of 1 year or so.
Yeah. And Duncan was also involved because his comment showed up in Nathan's video and it was a whole thing. So we each gave Duncan 4 points for that. So Lucas created a wrap for the monthly mnemonic, to remember which months had 30 days, 31 and all that. And I am going to play that now because it is worth a listen. And so here we go.
So you want to know about all the months? Well, listen up, you bunch of cunts. April, June, September, November. These are all the months you want to remember. 30 days and 30 nights each. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to preach, but the other months all have 31, apart from February, who isn't quite as strong. Every year of the Olympics, it has 29, and every other year it has 28, which is fine. Mic drop.
Oh, man.
Oh, I love it.
I love it.
Yeah. And so we each gave him 5 points for that. And I had to play it. So, because it has to be out there in the world.
I think he really enjoyed delivering that second line, didn't he?
I think so.
I can hear it in his voice. Well done.
He's a young one and he's probably not allowed to say that at home. So,
You can say whatever you like here, pal. We don't judge. We're foul-mouthed and fancy-free.
I'm an awful parent anyway, so.
I'm just an awful person. I don't have any kids. I just swear because it's fun.
Lucas also did the rat trap. He created his own rat trap with he had the rat go into the bait and the mattress came down and obliterated the rat. And I did want to say, Lucas, I hope now that lockdown is easing up that you're able to leave your room for a little bit because I think you're in need of some fresh air and sunshine.
Yeah, well, if he lives south of where I live, then he should be okay. We just had rain for the last 3 weeks, but you sound like an English accent, so hopefully you've got a nice bit of sun. Just interject.
But we each gave you 5 points for that too, so that's another 10 points for Lucas. And we've both been really impressed with you guys. Have been upping your game with these entries. It's been a lot of fun to receive them.
They're a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, the effort is amazing.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah. So that is where we're going to wrap up episode 7. And now we're going to get on to new business.
Oh shit! Let me change
Episode 8.
Let me change my notes.
An orderly species.
Yeah, was it Greg that said that in this one? Then it must have been. Never noticed.
Don't ask me to remember any detail that I haven't written on this piece of paper.
Yeah, I think it was him. Yeah, I think it was. Okay, where do you go then?
So we got to see Alex do a little bit of improv.
Yeah. Well, for anyone you know as well now, but for anyone who's been to the live recordings, you know that that's the first thing that happens before they start recording. The actual episode is Greg comes out and after the warm-up guys usually, and then Greg comes out first and talks to everyone and generally shows you his belly or something like that. And then he brings Alex out and humiliates him for a little bit before bringing out all the contestants. So, yeah. It's nice to see that he's clearly missing that with doing the recordings under COVID, I would imagine. So he's just decided to hijack Alex's bit of the show. I hope he does it. I hope he continues to do it, because that is my favourite part about going to watch any recordings anyway, is the bit that Greg orchestrates right at the start. Which usually ends up with him dancing or singing or, crawling around on the floor like a dog or something.
So we got to see Alex do a little funk disco break dance about the division of North and South Korea, while singing about that.
He had a pink belt on.
It was,
I noticed. It looked pink. To go with these pink underpants, no doubt. Something
else.
Well, we all know he likes to wear pink undies. He's always got pink undies on. Anyway, I'm going to stop hijacking it. On you go.
All right, so we got the most satisfying wobbly thing. And right away, Greg said, anyone who brings in just some jelly, you're just...
getting no points.
You're fucked. Nope.
Yeah.
And so first up, Jamali.
Yeah, 3.
And what did he bring in, Charlie?
Fucking jelly, isn't it? Jelly. A Rubik's Cube with jelly in it. No, jelly with Rubik's Cube in it. I'm still tired. But he said that the satisfying thing was the completed Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
And the wobbly thing was the jelly.
Which of course is not wobbly, so he had to put it in some jelly.
Yeah.
And then what did Lee bring in, Charlie?
He brought in a jelly belly.
That he claimed was a representation of his own belly, but...
Just lies.
Well.
It wasn't big enough.
Yeah. A little flat.
Yeah, it had abs, man.
And then what did Charlotte bring in, Charlie?
I think she brought a letter encased in jelly.
In jelly. A letter from her therapist.
Yeah.
Commenting on her wobbly self-esteem.
Yeah, which has no doubt been destroyed furthermore with a campaign of bullying that she's had to undergo throughout.
It's lucky she's a successful actress, because she's going to need so much more therapy.
Yeah,
now that this is over.
She might get some work on CBBS. She would fit. He's right. She would, she looks...
It's true.
Yeah, it doesn't help that she chose to wear those dungarees either. And she's just so happy, and she's perfect for CBBS or CBBC or whatever. Yeah.
And then we move away from the jelly, and Mike brought in a tooth.
A milk tooth, apparently.
Well, yes.
Tooth. Aye. Yeah. I didn't get what he said straight away either. I was like, huh?
I know. It was like, wait, what?
Yeah. I don't like the wobbly teeth thing either. Do you?
I used to love that when I was a kid, when it was just like hanging on. I used to twist it. And
no.
I used to love when I had a loose tooth.
It's like crunching inside. I don't know. It's horrible. I've got I've had one tooth on the bottom set of my teeth that's a little bit wobbly because I had an altercation with an iron gate. And it's awful. I hate it. Like every now and then it'll just move a tiny little bit. And it freaks me out.
Well, I don't think now I would enjoy it, because the implication is if that tooth falls out, I'm going to be a gap tooth,
it's damaged,
trashy looking motherfucker.
It's got a
as
chip
a child,
in
it was.
it moves a tiny bit.
Yeah. As a child, I liked the way it felt. I don't know. I liked the wobbly. I liked when it was just hanging on. And then when it came off, I was getting money from the tooth fairy, so it was like a win-win thing.
No, the whole thing was. I don't like it. I agree with Greg on that one. I don't like it. Nice idea, though.
Yeah, I mean, different. Wobbly
It's not
tooth,
fucking
sure.
jelly, is it? So you got to give him some credit for
No,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then Sarah. Giant chicken sausage.
Yeah, I don't know why she said a sausage of chicken meat. That's just
I know.
such a literal, strange way to describe their giant yellow sausage that she fetched in. Which she then wanged around so much that she snapped it.
Yeah, and had to tape it back together.
Yeah. Weird, man.
So now you've broken the seal. It's just going to spoil now. I mean...
No one was going to eat that anyway. Especially
know.
not with that description. A sausage of chicken meat.
A sausage of chicken meat.
Weird, man.
Yeah, no. So, I believe he said it was for the first time ever. He gave everyone in the prize task the same score. 3 points for everyone.
Yeah,
because
I think he was just pissed off.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't too pissed because he would have given them 1 point each or none possibly. So he wasn't too pissed, but he was just like 3 points because he wasn't thoroughly impressed with anyone, but he wasn't.
Well, none of them were
they all
particularly good,
made a little bit of an effort.
Yeah.
But it was not a good round.
No. No, it wasn't. I'm just trying to think what was satisfying about the chicken sausage. But I guess
wanging it around, yeah.
Yeah. The action of wang.
I mean, I don't know much about wanging a sausage around.
Yes, you do.
It's been years. No. It's been a minute.
Okay.
I don't know if I can remember back that far, but anyway. Say the word metronome.
Never again.
Between every tick of this metronome. You may not touch or stop the metronome. Also, you must blow up and tie a balloon so that it's bigger than your head. Neatly gift wrap the balloon and eat 3 whole poppadoms. You have 5 minutes. The person who accomplishes the most things with the fewest missed metronomes wins.
Horrible. I mean, the task description itself has already said metronome too many times.
It's just so many things. Like, it's just evil. Because it's like this must be one of those ones where they come up with like, all right, so with the metronome, and then what else can they do? Well, I mean, blow up a balloon, because that's really hard to do while you've got to say words. All right, but that doesn't seem like quite enough. So what else can we make them do? And it just like built from there. Of course, eating dry fucking poppadoms.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. I just. Sometimes I like, you know me. I like to think about what would I have done, and I think I would have just had a meltdown. I wouldn't even manage to get the balloon blew up because I'd start laughing and just I'd be like a mess under the table. That's what would have happened to me. I would have just crawled under the table with the poppadoms and had a little picnic.
But then Mike comes right in, boom,
nothing.
Like it was nothing. Another day at the fucking office.
The man is a taskmaster natural if ever I saw one.
He missed 1 metronome. 1.
Yeah. And he did
unbelievable,
didn't he?
Yes.
He did everything.
Missed 1 solitary metronome. Did everything else, didn't pop the balloon.
Yeah. He had unbelievable. A lovely time. Didn't even break a sweat.
Yeah.
And then he said in the studio, he just likes being told what to do.
I mean, I'm here for that, hon. You know,
for that.
I know you're married, but
yeah, I can relate to that a bit because then you don't have to think about what you're doing if you've just got a task to do. So I kind of like that. I like when I know what I'm doing for a lot of time, pass the time.
And I like to tell people what to do, so it could work. It could work between us.
Yeah, well, it depends what you tell me. I mean, I won't just do anything I'm told. You should know that.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Well, exactly. Like you say you like being told what to do, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like you.
No, but if, like, someone says, okay,
I think in terms of, like, work and stuff like that.
Like, or, you know, if it's something daft and, you know, pointless like Taskmaster is, then it's kind of fun, isn't it?
No, even, like, in terms of a job, you know, when I had one of those things, like, just tell me what I got to do and leave me the fuck alone. Yeah. Like, I'm good.
I don't like anyone hanging around and checking if I'm doing it right.
Oh, like, I do not like being micromanaged. No. My old boss was awful about that. And, yeah, I fucking hate
Mine
him.
are good. They leave me alone, especially in the mornings. They know not to speak to me.
That's what I like when I worked in the travel agency. I just closed the door and went about my day.
Did you have your own office? I've always wanted my
did.
own office, and I've got one now, and it's in my fucking house.
It was huge. I ran like the ticket office in a big corporate travel agency. I didn't have to deal with anyone. I didn't have to take phone calls. I didn't have to do anything.
You just
beautiful.
You just like spun around.
No
on
people.
Your, on
I
your
don't.
twirly chair all day.
Yeah, I don't like doing any jobs that involve interaction with the general public.
Who does?
So
no one.
Some people are people persons. You know, like I just not me. No.
Okay, Grumpy.
All right.
Let's go.
Sarah. So Sarah did nothing successfully.
No. See, she kind of did what I did. She had a meltdown. That what I would have done. Sorry, not what I did. I had a meltdown watching it, and clearly right now I'm having one. But
you felt her anxiety.
Yeah, I was
you
like,
just
no.
you
When they read the task out, I went, "You can't do that. It's impossible." That was my reaction. That cannot be done. And then Mike came in and did it, and I was just like floored. So like, what?
It's like it's just too much.
Yeah, there's too much going on.
Well, because then like Lee had like a full on nervous breakdown, and then he's like, he wants some water, and Alex brings him hot water.
I know.
What a dick! What a dick! I fucking love you, Alex Horn, but what a dick move!
That was brilliant, man. I love how brave he's getting. How he finds the way to annoy whoever it is. Like with Jamali, he just dithers around and smiles at him and stuff. And with Charlotte, she's easily disgusted. So, yeah.
I just wonder, like that moment, and he's like, "Oh, do you want some water?" And Lee's like, "Yeah, could I have some?" Was it just a momentary like, "Oh, fuck him, I'm going to give him some hot water and see what that does?" Yeah. Or was somebody else like, "No, give him hot water," or did they already plan, like, if somebody asks for water, we're going to give them a glass of hot water?
I don't know. We'll never know. Maybe
like, what's the level
on the actual proper professional podcast and ask them. Let's watch for if Ed asks for questions. That's the only way we're going to get to find these things out. Come on, let's be fair.
Yeah, right. And then like Greg pointed out, he was like towards the end, he was like, "I've got a BAFTA." Yeah. Like, I shouldn't have to fucking do this.
Well, he was spraying poppadoms and warm water all over the fucking place. Disgusting.
Jamali, I mean, I didn't even write anything down for Jamali.
Jamali was just fucking genius, man. He recorded himself saying metronome, or met your mom, or metrodome, or metronome. But
metronome.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but that was enough, genius. Man. That was genius.
Yeah. Very smart.
Very impressive.
I mean, Charlotte missed like 7 to 8 metronomes.
She did a very good impression of a little hamster.
I just love it was like a record player. She just rotated them.
She's like a cartoon.
Oh.
Yeah, but then she spat them all over the table and Alex wound her up again.
I mean,
what have you done?
She was just done.
I've had an accident.
So in the end, Charlotte and Sarah both got 1 point.
Yeah.
And then we jump to Lee and Jamali with 4 points each, but of course, Mike got 5 points with his ridiculously perfect, near perfect performance.
Cool approach to just doing crazy things with no question.
Insanity.
Okay, task 2. Team task. Draw the best picture of a British animal. Each person must fill in one section at a time and may not look at any other section during that time. Every section must be used and you may not communicate with each other in any way during the task. Best picture of a British animal wins. You have 3 minutes per section and their time started then. Now. Yeah.
Yes.
Devious again. Another kind of simple but devious.
But again, this could be kind of a fun little party game. Mm-hmm. Easy one to do. So we had the team of 3, and I just kind of wrote from the top down. They had rabbit ears, and then a bird head, and then 2 separate and distinct layers of wings, one above the other, and then what appeared to be kangaroo legs, even though I think she was aiming for rabbit at the time.
Yeah, could have been a rabbit standing up. They do that, don't they? They meerkat, like, Have we?
Yeah. We have so many bunnies here in the yard. I love watching them.
Okay, so you're like we've obviously you're not British. So if I say to you British animal, what's the first thing comes to your mind?
I don't even know.
Yeah, I struggled with it, and I've lived here all my life.
And then when they said stuff, they were like hedgehog. I was like, oh yeah, okay, hedgehog, and then like a hare,
pigeon.
And then I was thinking like deer, maybe because I know hunting is
not a deer where I live. Yeah,
a thing. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know if you say America, it's like what, bald eagles.
Yeah, eagles. And
bullshit.
Eagles and bears and that.
Yeah, we used to have bears in my yard. I used to love watching them. Wow. Yeah, when I lived way up north.
Okay, well, that's much better than like pigeons and shit, isn't it? Pigeons, crows. the things that are in my yard the most are blue tits. Got a little
and we have tons of bunny rabbits here.
Little family that come and nest in my garden every spring. So anyway,
and foxes. I think that's something because I see a lot of people, even in London, like some of the pages I follow, posting like a lot of foxes. We have a lot of foxes here too, but yeah. So, and then the team of two, they had 2 bird heads, and then a couple various prickly, fuzzy, feathery sections, and some bird legs. I don't know.
Yeah, it was mostly bird.
Yeah,
it was like a totem.
The one now when they did the 3D model, I mean the first one, Greg took to in a very disturbing and motherly way, and
do you know what? I love him. You know I love him. But oh my god, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
what is going on?
The second one. The second head looked like, because they had made it colorful, the second model, it looked like one of those, I don't know if you guys had the same like advertising over there, because I know you have McDonald's, but they have the Fry Guys. Do you know what those are? They're like these little mascots. They're like these little furry things with eyes, and that's exactly what that second layer looked like on the model.
No, I don't think we do.
I'll have to show you a picture if...
I think that the second one with the 2 heads looked like it had one head and then a hairy body with some different coloured boobs.
Yeah, it was just...
You're looking for a picture, aren't you?
I am. I'm looking for a picture of fucking Fry Guy. I heard a hairy body with different coloured boobs.
Yeah, well, the boobs were the same colour, but they were a different colour from the body.
Yeah.
Instead of having 2 heads, they should have said it had some tits.
Yeah. Oh, and then don't forget that had the stomach mouth.
Yeah.
So that it would feed through the beak. Yeah. So it would feed through the beak and then regurgitate it.
Yeah. Mike's a quick thinker. He thinks about stuff like that and comes up with some bullshit. And it's bode him well.
It's definitely not what I would have thought of.
Right, okay, I just got what you were thinking of, okay. Yeah. Right, so, points. Mike and Lee got 3 points, and Charlotte, Jamali, and Sarah got 2, and it was because Mike had added in his bullshit description that the young of the creature would queue up to be fed, and queuing's a very British thing to do. And that impressed him.
That is true.
Did you see Alex tweeted as well that they're probably going to recreate those and sell them on the Taskmaster merch store?
Oh, I did not see that. I'm sharing my screen with you now.
He was asking about would anyone want to buy them? And I was going to write back to him like, what, the original one that's been suckling on the Taskmaster's teeth? Because I don't think you're going to get that back off him. He's claimed it. Are you sharing something to me? All right. Okay.
Yeah. So see those little guys?
Yeah, I've never seen those before in my life.
But that's what that second layer looked like to me immediately. Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Okay. I just had to point that out. All right, let me stop sharing my screen.
So, task 3, back in the airplane. Record the greatest aircraft safety announcement, then perform the greatest aircraft safety demonstration. Your announcement must be in an accent or language other than your own, and your demonstration must be unforgettable. They had 20 minutes.
Yes.
This one was bad.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, so we thought, Jamali was whipping out the French there before we, said, oh, okay. Polyglot perhaps. maybe not so much.
Nah, you can tell when him and Greg started saying random French fucking words to each other. Just random shit then, you can remember from school.
Exactly. He just pulled out every like phrase that he remembered from school or from using like Duolingo, you know?
Yeah. He's better than I would have been, to be fair. I did French at school and I could only remember the things that Greg said. Like,
oh my God.
Or whatever. And...
Yeah. Now, my daughter took like 5 years of honors French and can't say a fucking word. Yeah. We went to Paris and she's just like, I don't know what the fuck they're saying. And I'm like, how the fuck did you pass? She's like, our school is bad. What can I tell you? I'm like,
yeah, I wasn't very good at French. I was really bad. So Jamali did his French accent / language.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not much else to say about it. I mean, his safety demonstration was a bit haphazard, but he put across a nice character anyway that seemed quite harmless, I guess.
Yeah.
Whereas Lee did an Australian accent.
I mean, Lee's was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was funny enough. Like, it was good. He was just telling everyone they were going to die, so why worry about it? Basically, that was the takeaway from it.
I mean, that's kind of me when I fly. I don't pay attention to any of the safety, anything going on. I got my headphones on. I'm ready. I love to fly, but I'm like, if it's going down, that dying. Fucking flotation cushion, all that shit, I'm done.
Yeah, I don't think
if this is how I go out, this is how I go out. Yeah, I'm not.
If I was to stop and think about it, I wouldn't get on the fucking thing. So I do that a lot with things in my life. I don't think about them. I just do them. Because if I do them,
that is the
if I stop.
Ignorance is bliss. That is where the saying comes from. Just forget what's going on around you and be happy.
Yeah, Charlotte tried out a couple of accents. She went with Lorraine Kelly's Dundonian accent, which is where I'm from, in case you hadn't noticed. She also went with the Geordie accent, which is also the other part of my accent. So I was doubly offended by Charlotte.
But she just looked like she was shuffling through the overhead looking for her keys. You know, just throwing stuff out. I'm like, what the fuck is she doing?
Great. But yeah, no, our accent turned out good in the end. It's tough to do with Lorraine Kelly. Sarah, though, she just thought, fuck it. I'm just going to make up my own language and just talk a load of gibberish for however long.
That's all I wrote was absolute screaming gibberish.
Yep, gibberish, that's what I've written. Nonsense. Rubbish. Mike's, though, again, totally pulled it out of the hat. Or the bag.
Fucking
I don't know
genius.
What the saying is. Absolutely brilliant. He got right into it. He had his German language. It was all in German as well. It was proper, wasn't it?
I mean, to the best of my knowledge, I don't speak German, but it seemed, you know.
Well, there was the subtitles that were on it.
Yeah.
Looked good.
He was saying like actual things. Yeah. You know, whether he was saying them correctly, I can't comment to, but yeah.
He was just like, he was so into it. It was brilliant. It was just brilliant.
Yeah. It was. I mean, there's nothing else to say. It was hilarious. It was definitely unforgettable.
Yeah.
And I think Alex commented that it was about an hour before
the incident. Oh no, you've got
dare I? No, I do. I do still have it. About an hour before that. But
do you know what? This is just an aside, but there's an outtake where I think he's made Mike made a little noise with his throat that was kind of similar to that noise. There's a couple of outtakes from this episode, so I'll send you the links if I remember. But last night, my husband was squeezing tomato ketchup onto his plate, and it made the exact sound of Mike's arse. So I thought, of course, I pointed it out, and he was disgusted at me and called me a child. It was exactly that noise. I just started laughing. I went, that just sounds like Mike's arse.
Squelch.
Exactly. So, points.
God help us all.
Sarah and Lee got 3 points each. Jamali and Charlotte got 4 points, and Mike, of course, got 5.
Which, I mean, we can't question the Taskmaster, but Charlotte was really lucky to get what she got on that one.
She did a good accent, though. She did something.
Yes, and I think, and just because, especially with Sarah's absolute screaming gibberish,
that was
it was
just nonsense.
really...
She just I mean, I would be shit at it as well. I'd have to choose. I mean, I would be. I can't even do one accent of my own properly, so maybe I'd have to just lean to one side or the other. Be either full on Scottish or full on Geordie. Like, there's no middle ground. But yeah, I would be rubbish. I can't do any accents.
Yeah, no matter what I did, someone would be offended, I'm sure.
Exactly. Like, my boss tries to do my accent, and he tries to do other people's accents, and they all sound like Indian. It doesn't matter which one he does, it comes out the same. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Can you not hear yourself?
Well, my daughter had to do the class on accents this year in school, and I sent you a bit of hers, but when she does her Scottish accent, she sounds like basically like Merida in the movie Brave. That's exactly what she sounds like.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like. My boss is from Northern Ireland, so he's got a pretty thick accent anyway. But any other accent he tries to do just sounds like he's from Asia somewhere. It's just weird. Anyway, moving on. All
right, so we've got our live task, and this one we had a little a curtain that they had to stand behind. So standing on either one leg or both legs, you must do so one at a time behind the curtain, and then place your hands on your head. Once you place your hands on your head, you could not change your footing. Okay. The taskmaster would then guess if you were standing on either one leg or both legs. If he guessed correctly, you were eliminated. Last person standing on either one leg or both legs wins.
Yeah. This is a classic live task, I think. I like these ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course. Was it Jamali that had the genius idea to rest his elbows on the podium?
That really was genius.
It was good. He is quite smart. He's clever.
Yeah.
He gets around it. Yeah.
Charlotte came right in, and I mean, it was just awful. I mean, she was looking, whoa, look at me, I can't balance.
Yeah, professional actor.
She was very obviously on both legs.
Yeah, Sarah
got out on her first turn.
Mad approach as well, didn't she? She was kind of trying to psych him out with her crazy eyes and jumping around on the spot. And it worked the first time, didn't it?
Yeah. So I basically wrote down kind of the order of things because
I haven't.
Every once in a while I do.
I lose interest by the end.
So,
I don't.
Yeah, so Charlotte, she was very, very obviously out.
Yeah, straight away.
First turn. Okay. Jamali did fake Greg out. He was on both legs, so he passed. Then Lee faked out. He was on both legs, and he passed. Mike got out first. He said he was going to read him. He knew it, and he got it, and he was on one, and he was out on his first turn. Sarah, like you said, doing her jumping around, excellent fake out on one, and she passed. And then Jamali got out on that turn. And then Lee faked him out with two legs and passed. And then Sarah got out on one leg on that last time, but she did her little fake out again, but it was not enough, and Lee won the task. Yep. So in the end, Mike and Charlotte each got 1 point. Jamali and Sarah got 3 points, and Lee got 5 points.
Okay, so that means episode scores ended up with Charlotte on 11, Sarah on 12, Jamali on 16, Mike on 17, and Lee wins with 18 points.
Yes.
Series scores?
All right. So, I don't have them, of course.
I'll get them again. Yeah, it's generally me that does them, but I forgot.
That's your job.
That's my one job. Well, my one job is to record my audio, turn up, say things, and do this, and I can't even... There's a couple of jobs in there, fair dues, but yeah, just give me peace. Okay, so series scores are Charlotte 89, Jamali 112, Mike 119, Lee on 123, and Sarah's still out in front on 130. 7-point lead over Lee, and an 11-point lead over Mike.
Only 2 episodes to go.
She's the one to catch. She's been out in front since the start, really, isn't she? So.
Yep. So, that said, we are not going to do any Melon Buffet Master this week because we're playing our little bit of catch up again. There were a couple entries.
Yeah.
And, we've seen them and we'll get to them
next week.
We're just going to discuss whether we're going to do, we keep getting your entries in because we got 2 episodes left, but we're going to discuss whether we'll do them on the next episode or whether we're kind of going to go silent until the last episode at this point and, surprise y'all with where everybody is. But, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So anything to add to that? Of course, I have no news because it was just enough to get this damn episode out.
No, I don't really have news.
It's not out yet, so.
I've been watching, we talked about this a while ago, I've been watching Johnny Vegas's new program about his glamping site.
Yes.
His buses and that. It's really good. I've not watched it all yet. But yeah, it's really nice. Katie Wicks has got a book out. Do we know that one? Did we see that one already?
I don't think so. Josh Whittaker's got a book coming out too. Josh Whittaker's got a book coming out,
yeah. Who else? Let me think. There was something else. Did we talk about Rose Matafio's Starstruck?
I think we may have talked about it at one point.
I watched all that. It's awesome. But she's getting a second series that she's already started filming.
Okay.
Of course, Greg, the Taskmaster, has been filming The Cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Been spied somewhere on location.
We're hoping, the fall they're talking about, possibly?
Yeah, it's going to come out later in the summer, early in the autumn, I think so. But yeah, he's been seen, I think it was on Twitter or on Facebook or something. There was a picture of him with not a hazmat suit, but the crime scene
boiler suit, yeah.
Rolled halfway down himself, standing outside looking curious at someone. So we've got that to look forward to, obviously. What else? Alex has been to a pub. So I saw him drinking a pint through a straw in the rain by the looks of it. But yeah, he's been out. So it's nice to see he's free.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not really news. It's just things I've seen over the past few weeks.
That's all good.
Yeah, but Johnny's
you've seen them.
Carry On Glamping.
Someone else.
Really, really good.
Yeah, someone else may not have seen these things, so they might be, things they want to know.
Yeah, I don't always retain all the information, but that's all I can think of at the minute. So.
All right. So on that note, I think that will probably be us until hopefully next week.
Yeah, hopefully.
Bye.
Bye.